Hi, my name is Ashma Srijit. I graduated from Santa Susana High School in Simi Valley, California, and I will be going to the University of Southern California in the fall. Majoring in music industry. I honestly thought that I wasn't going to get into a lot of schools because I always felt like I had kind of average grades, like not the best in my class or anything. So I thought I'd go to like a Cal State, but then throughout the process, I kind of realized like, okay, maybe I have a shot at other colleges too. So that was kind of my process in the beginning, my thought process. I did a lot of volunteering, I'd say. I volunteered at my local hospital on Saturdays, and I've been doing that since the summer going into sophomore year. And then I did a lot of stuff for like music. I did piano, I did ukulele, I did voice lessons for like 8 years. And then I also did Taekwondo. I was a second degree black belt. I also had a job. I was a summer camp counselor the summer before my senior year, and then going into my senior year, I worked as a childcare aide for an after-school program. I think my mom, like, she always pushed me to like put my best foot forward and really try and everything. I always had a problem with like being super scared to try new things, but then like once I'm in the environment, I'm perfectly fine. And she kind of instilled in me like you're gonna be okay no matter what. It's okay to try new things. So I think that was a big thing. And then my dad has always been just very like observant and like quiet. So I think I got that from him. I really like to observe my surroundings and, like really notice the things and the people and the environment around me because it helps me like know how to react in certain situations.
How did you narrow down to your final schools?
I was hearing back from a lot of the Cal States first. I was getting accepted into most of them. And then it was time for the UCLA decisions, and I got in, which was really shocking to me. Um, I like cried tears of joy. And then after I got into UCLA, I had a feeling I would also get into USC. And then I would say a few days later, I got into USC. And then there were other schools. I was on the wait list for. I was on the wait list for University of Washington and then NYU. So I was kind of keeping that in my back pocket just in case I did get into those schools. I kind of compromised a little and I did commit to UCLA for a few days. Am I compromising just because of money? Do I really want to go to this school? Basically, we came to the decision that USC would probably be the better choice just because I would get really good connections for the major I'm working in. And it's just the environment seems more like something that I would thrive in. So I always knew I wanted to do something in music. I didn't want to let go of this like passion I had, but I also knew that I didn't want to do like performance in music just because I knew it's like a little risky. It's never a stable job. Um, so I came across like the music industry major when just like researching schools, I would just go into like the music section and then just look if they had anything that was music related, but not necessarily performance. I even looked at music education for a few schools, but I did like prefer music industry more just because that is more what I would want in a career, like doing stuff behind the scenes rather than teaching. Definitely. I would say that there were certain factors that in my applications I would have never really thought of highlighting if I didn't have this help. Like I would say in my essays, I kind of just would have rambled and put random things, but with Lindsay's help, like it flowed better, I would say, if that makes sense. So I think that really helped. in the application process because I think my essays were a big factor of why I got accepted into certain schools or not, over my grades or anything. And then also just like knowing which of my extracurriculars I should highlight over others and what I should be putting in my essays that would actually like make a difference to the colleges that I'm applying to. This is one of the things actually. She told me like very early on to start doing a brag sheet, which I, even though it was for like teachers to do my recommendation letters or whatever, it helped me visualize like, okay, what have I done in my high school career? What can I talk about in my essays, my applications? What do I see is like the most um, like hard-hitting thing for me to talk about? Because I feel like if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been able to see from very early on like what I had done. And honestly, that helped me so much because I was thinking about it a few days ago. Actually, if I hadn't done that brag sheet, like going into my first application, I wouldn't have known what to write. Like, what should I talk about? What should I highlight? And yeah, that was like very helpful. I I will be honest, at first I was like, what's the need for it? Like, I think I can do it by myself. But then it was honestly the biggest help, and it helped me like keep track of everything and also get really good advice for my applications. So, yeah, 100% I would recommend it. I would say definitely your grades matter because I always thought that I always thought they mattered, but I didn't try hard enough until like my senior year. But grades definitely do matter and try to keep them up as much as you can. But then also just put all your effort into your applications, and then you'll know that even if you get rejected or waitlisted or even accepted, like that's not up to you because you put your best foot forward. And at that point, it's all up to the schools.
Maybe share with us like what do you plan to do with your major, and what kind of things do you see yourself doing once you graduate?
Yeah. So I definitely want to try and get into like marketing or artist management once I graduate, but I also do want to try and minor or do a double major in psychology, just because I've always had an interest in that since like middle school, and I've heard a lot about music therapy during this like college application process, because those are like my main interests. So yeah.